This is a message to Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano, we love you. Cristiano, we understand you're Mr. Champions League. Cristiano, we understand you're out there struggling in the Saudi Poop League at this point in time. But Cristiano, please, just retire. Just retire. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about here, if you're living under a rock, I certainly am because I'm making this video 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. The next World Cups have been confirmed, their locations. Obviously, we're having World Cup 2026, the Trump era, in 2 years' time. But World Cup 2030 and World Cup 2034 were confirmed. And all I ask for Cristiano is to please retire. Please retire. We'll get to that in a second. But if you are living under a rock, World Cup 2030 is going to be hosted by. Actually, let me just go share my screen. World Cup 2030 is going to be hosted by Spain, Morocco, and Portugal. So the Iberian Peninsula, all that. So these are going to be the main hosts for 2030. Something I don't like about this is because since it's the 100th anniversary of the World Cup, they're actually going to be doing Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay also as hosts, but only Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay will play like their opening game or all their group games in South America and then fly over to Europe for the knockout stages. It's kind of stupid. I think it's dumb, but it is what it is. Argentina, those three teams agreed to it. So in 2030, I do not want to hear, excuses if they lose, a game in the group stage or a game in the knockouts. Oh, we have to travel so much. Oh, we have to travel across the world. I feel like there's a built-in excuse. Built-in. Okay, I was rudely interrupted there, but I'm back. I'm back better than ever. And either nothing happened. My mommy was calling me. Anyway, yeah, there's already a built-in excuse there, I feel like, for Uruguay, Paraguay, especially Argentina fans and all those Argentina dick riders and dick suckers out there. Like, I see a built-in excuse there, but it is what it is. The Iberian coastline or whatever, the Iberian Peninsula, whatever, is going to be hosting this World Cup. And my issue here is that Portugal is a host nation. And knowing our shameless Cristiano Ronaldo, how shameless Cristiano Ronaldo is, how desperate, you guys, we all know this. Cristiano Ronaldo is desperate for that World Cup trophy. He just wants to touch it. All he wants to do is feel it in his hands. And this is a World Cup hosted in Portugal. Portugal will be playing all their games at home in the group stages at least. That's how it usually works when you're a host nation. And also probably their knockout stages will all be in Portugal. I'm telling you guys, Cristiano may be pushing 40 right now, but don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if Cristiano shows up to World Cup 2030 and he's in that squad and he gets minutes. Do not be surprised because this is the perfect opportunity and excuse for Cristiano to keep lounging around in the Saudi poop league for the next 5 to 6 years. And he shows up for this World Cup just to get a couple minutes, maybe get a goal, and probably be the player with the most World Cup appearances and most World Cups ever attended as a player. That, you guys, do not be surprised if Cristiano does this. Do not be surprised. In terms of the host nations, I kind of like this. I like that Iberian thing. I don't mind when multiple nations, that are in close proximity with each other, share the like host nation status. I don't really mind it. Because plane flights between Portugal, Spain, and Morocco, it's like 50 minutes, an hour, 2 hours sometimes. Like it's nothing. Traveling around those three countries is nothing. So transportation shouldn't be an issue for teams. And yeah, it gives you that European feel to the tournament, but also an African nation hosting the World Cup. I think, if I'm not mistaken, South Africa obviously was the first African nation to host the World Cup, but now Morocco is going to be the second African nation to host the World Cup. So interesting. Let's see how it is. Let's see how the vibes are. Let's see if Morocco is still strong in 2030 and see if those vibes will be there for that team and maybe they can make another push in the World Cup. But yeah, this could be a very interesting World Cup because I'm looking at 2030 and I'm thinking Pedri, as you see on the screen, Lamine Yamal, Gavi, all these young Spanish players we're seeing right now will probably be in their primes. They're, 28, 29, 30 years old at this time. They're going to be in their primes, or at least entering into their physical primes and everything. So I'm looking at Spain. I'm looking at an opportunity for Spain to win a World Cup on home soil. And that would be obviously big for them to get their second star as well. So interesting things here. Spain and Morocco having that home. Obviously, Portugal would have that home nation advantage as well. But I swear to God, if I see Cristiano, That was the first thing I thought of. When I saw that, it was already speculated that, this would be the World Cup hosts for 2030. It was just confirmed a couple weeks ago. But the moment I heard of this many, many months back, the first thing I thought of was this guy, Cristiano. He's going to want to show up in his adult diapers with an IV bag attached to him, in a cryo chamber all year long to preserve his body for this moment. And I would not be surprised if Cristiano shows up, with saggy skin and Botox and implants and a bionic eye and metal kneecaps. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Football doesn't discriminate. Robots will be able to play this game soon. I'm telling you guys, in 100 years, players will be having bionic parts of their bodies. Cristiano might be the first in 2030. Cristiano might be the first. So, cool for this World Cup style. I like it. The only thing I don't like is Cristiano might be sacrificing years of his life to play at this tournament. And Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, I could see built-in excuses for them if they lose in the tournament and blame the distance they have to travel. Because they agree to it, it doesn't count as an excuse. It doesn't. But, you guys, this isn't the only World Cup that was confirmed. The next location, World Cup 2034. Obviously, this isn't like an official graphic. I just took two random Saudi brothers from online and put it on this slide. But this is supposed to signify that the World Cup is being held in Saudi Arabia in 2034. This is what this image means, if you're wondering. But yeah, we got these Saudi brothers holding a fake ass World Cup that they'll never touch, they'll never win. But yeah, Saudi hosting the 2034 World Cup. And if listen, Qatar was cool. I know a lot of Americans, at least, in the United States here on this side of the world, complain about games being at 2 a.m., sometimes 5 a.m. I honestly didn't mind it. I was in school, I was in my undergrad, and it was actually kind of vibes waking up early in the morning or waking up in the morning and seeing the results of the games of the group stage. I honestly didn't mind. So the vibes were cool, and I don't really mind this. Saudi Arabia obviously pushing to get a World Cup mainly because they want to bolster their economy. If you didn't know, if you watch combat sports, Saudi Arabia is hosting all the big boxing events. They're bringing the UFC, MMA over to there because they're trying to establish a sports market in their country to bolster their own economy. Them getting this World Cup is basically the pinnacle of that. That will seal the deal. And, that country, Saudi, is going to make a lot of money on this World Cup. And I'm not going to be surprised, guys, if this is the most high-tech World Cup we'll ever see. Unfortunately, with this being, with Saudi being the host nation, they're going to go and build new stadiums, billion, $1 trillion stadiums. And unfortunately, I bet they're going to take advantage, like in Qatar, of, workers from Asia and Africa and misuse them. And workers are going to die building these stadiums. But it is what it is, you guys. We don't actually care if people die building the stadiums, because we sat back and we all enjoyed Qatar 2022, even though I was always complaining that thousands of workers died and thousands of workers were mistreated during the building of the stadiums. I still sat back and I watched every single game and I enjoyed the experience. So, I'm fugazi. I'm a phony, guys. I don't really care, and no one else really cares. So don't trust me. In 2034, if I'm still making videos on this channel, I'll probably make a video saying about how we should remember the workers that died making these stadiums. But when that first game starts, when that opening game starts, I don't want to hear any of it from anyone, especially myself, because we don't actually give a shit if people die making these stadiums. All we want to see is people kick a ball around and win a golden trophy. That's all we care about, and that's what this World Cup's going to give us: dead people, high-tech stadiums, and peak football, World Cup football, the pinnacle of football. So yeah, cool. So these games probably for me here in the United States will be really early morning games again, like Qatar, probably going to be the same vibes. But the issue here, so Saudi, congrats. I don't have an issue with it. I know some people do. But for me, the real issue is going back to our brother Cristiano Ronaldo, because Cristiano Ronaldo is the face of Saudi Arabian football right now, the Saudi Poop League. I'm telling you guys, if Cristiano Ronaldo shows up to this World Cup, he's going to look like this. If Cristiano Ronaldo shows up to 2034 looking like this, we need to call the Worldwide Health Human Services and arrest anyone that let this man get onto the field looking like this. Because I swear to God, if Cristiano pulls up to 2034 and he gets minutes in 2034 and he's looking like this, let's cancel football. Let's stop. Let's stop the game. Let's stop all competitions. Let's move on. Let's all get into rugby, basketball, American football, baseball, whatever. We need to stop the sport if Cristiano pulls up looking like OJ Simpson. After all these years, OJ Simpson before he died. If he's looking like OJ Simpson before he died, when he pulls up to this World Cup, let's cancel it. Cancel the World Cup right away. If he's looking like Pele 10 days before he died, let's cancel the World Cup. Okay, I'm sorry, Pele, but I'm sorry. It has to be said. Cristiano, you can't be at this World Cup. I can understand World Cup 2030 as like a 45-year-old, and you've been sitting in a cryo chamber all year long, preserving the muscles and skin on your body, Cristiano. But I'm sorry, you cannot pull up to 2034 in Saudi Arabia and play. You cannot. And also, I forgot to mention that with the Saudi World Cup, this is probably going to be a winter World Cup again. So had to mention that. But Cristiano Ronaldo, if you show up in 2034 playing, looking like this, you guys, imagine this. Cristiano gets minutes, starts in the first game for Portugal in 2034, and alongside him is Cristiano Jr. Because I think by 2034, Cristiano Jr. will be well into his teenage years or maybe even early 20s and could be eligible if he's actually good at this game to play for Portugal. I would not be surprised if this guy pulls a LeBron James, Bronny James scenario where he waits this long to play in 2034 so Cristiano Jr. can join him and play together in a World Cup game. You guys, he has that privilege. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, the most famous person in the world, the guy with the most eyes on him, the most followers on all social media. He has the privilege to do that. So I swear, Cristiano, please retire. You don't need to do this. Make 2026 your last World Cup, but please, Cristiano, don't show up to 2030. But I beg you. I said please for 2030. I said please don't show up 2030, but Cristiano, I beg you. I beg you, don't show up in 2034 because the memes, the ridicule, the mental abuse you will take as you walk around on that field in your adult diapers, shitting your pants on the field. Oh my God, Cristiano, it is what it is, bro. I can't stop you, Cristiano. I hope you're listening to me. I can't stop you. You're a driven man, and I respect that, Cristiano. But think of, think of the future. Think of the kids. Do your kids, all your little 5-year-old, 4-year-old kids right now, do they want to see their daddy getting bullied in 10 years' time? No, they don't. They don't. Cristiano, retire, leave things at peace, play World Cup 2026, shake Trump's hand, and go back to Portugal and do whatever the hell you want to do. Do whatever the hell you want to do. And you guys, if Cristiano Ronaldo does retire, say after the next World Cup, after the American World Cup in 2026, don't be surprised if Cristiano somehow gets his coaching badges within a couple of months and he becomes the Portugal manager. So he could be the Portugal manager for that World Cup 2030. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So you guys, that's the World Cup. We got the next two World Cups after World Cup 2026 confirmed. We got the International World Cup, the Iberian World Cup in 2030, and we got the Saudi Arabian Winter World Cup 2034, running it back in the Middle East. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.